What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Big Ten football channel.
Indiana surprised a lot of people in 2019, getting to 8 regular season wins. Was it because this team had gotten that much better, or was it because they had a really weak schedule? Maybe it was a combination of both, but you look back at that 2019 schedule, it was very, very weak. They had, no one in the non-conference, no competition at all in the non-conference. And then you look at their conference schedule, they avoided the top 3 teams out of the West. They didn't play Wisconsin, Minnesota, or Iowa. Just a really, really weak schedule for them last season. And because of that schedule, I think it was a big reason why they were able to do what they did. You look at some of their games against Maryland and Nebraska and Purdue, and they had a lot of close wins in there, but give them credit for winning those close games. Played Penn State really tough. So this was a good team, but again, I think the schedule had a lot to do with their success last season. You look at the 2020 schedule, they open up the season on a Friday night on September 4th at Wisconsin. Big road game there, going to be a tough test for sure. Then they'll play Western Kentucky on September 12th at home, Ball State on September 19th at home, and on the road at UConn on September 26th. Again, they have a very weak non-conference schedule. Western Kentucky, Ball State, and UConn. It doesn't get much worse. At least they don't play an FCS opponent. That's the only thing you can take away from that. But a very weak non-conference schedule for this Indiana team. Then they get back into conference play. Actually, they'll have a bye week between UConn and Maryland. So they'll play those 4 games, then they'll have a bye week before playing Maryland on October the 10th. Home game, very winnable game. And then they follow that up with Rutgers on the road on October the 17th. So again, you go back to those 3 non-conference games, and then Maryland and Rutgers, very weak schedule to start. Michigan State expected to be down in 2020 as well. Plus, that's a home game on October 24th. So the whole, after Wisconsin, those next 6 games are all games where Indiana might be favored, and this team could be looking at bowl eligibility before the month of October is even over. So a very, very weak start to the schedule. Now, it does get tougher. You get to Halloween, October 31st, they'll play Penn State at home. Obviously going to be a very tough test there, but they played them tough last year, and this year they're at home. So that could be a signature win for this program, a program-changing win if they could upset Penn State. After that, on November the 7th, they'll play on the road at Ohio State. Obviously, that is going to be a very difficult test. So you got Penn State and Ohio State back-to-back after Michigan State. Very tough back-to-back there. And then Illinois on November 14th. That is a home game. That is a big game. I think, we'll see how it shakes out, but it could be a game where the 2 teams are playing for bowl eligibility. That is a big game there between 2 programs that are starting to build some momentum. That'll be a big win for whoever gets it. And then on November 21st, it's a road game at Michigan. So you've got the 3 big teams in the East, Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. You've got those 3 teams in a span of 4 weeks. That will be pretty tough there. And then Purdue on November 28th. That is a home game for Indiana, and that is how they will close out the season. So once again, you look at the schedule, not too bad. They do play Wisconsin out of the West, so you get a little bit of an upgrade in the cross-division schedule, but they don't play Minnesota. They don't play Iowa. They don't play, if Nebraska turns out to be a lot better this year, they don't play Nebraska. Instead, they'll play Wisconsin. They'll play Purdue, and they will play Illinois. So once again, Indiana has a schedule that sets them up in a very good position to make a bowl game once again, given the non-conference schedule that is very weak and a cross-division schedule that is really not that bad. And plus some teams like Michigan State that might be down in 2020. I think, again, that gives them a very good shot to get to a bowl game and really, as program overall, could start to build some momentum as they head into the future.